is Mother Goo here towards the resource spigot, as he always does, and Krux is producing his first factory now, and doing the exact same thing he did last game, simply camping a scout here, but it looks like Galahad's drover is making its way towards Crux's base. Drover scouts Crux's build, and we have a tank attachment going up now from Krux, who's deviating a little bit from what he did in game 1. And the scout is making its way towards the center. Hopefully spawning a small protean here. Although I think he's just trying to scout around the center circle for Galahad's mother to make sure he's not getting Destructor rushed. A Stalker has been fielded, and now that the tank attachment is completed, he's going to grab himself a Predator. It's in production now. Commando continues to simply circle around in the center. Commando and Stalker combination is enough to force that drover away for now. And Galahad is going to go mother first again. And we'll see if Krux is able to punish it. On this map it can be quite difficult. We've seen Krux employ different methods of attempting to punish extreme early goo greed. In the semifinals we saw him go with a double factory proxy over here, and I think it would have worked, but he made a pretty severe micro mistake in an engagement where he lost like 10 commandos, I think, to 2 small proteans because he didn't split at all. So I think that was his best attempt until that micro mistake. Last game we saw him go with double factory in his base. Didn't quite pan out the engagement. He just couldn't get the troops towards Galahad's mothers in time to be able to overwhelm him. And this time he's going to rush some quick tech, getting himself a Predator very early to be able to take on quick early drovers, and then going straight into a second refinery, and we have a small hub going up now as well. Third mother has been spawned now. Pretty greedy opening from Galahad. He's not going to be able to make more than 2 small proteans for this particular fight. That being said, Krux has no way to force Galahad off this mountain. Galahad will engage. Will he get that Predator? Morphs drovers, and the Predator will get globbed over by the mother and small proteans. Krux trying to micro to safety away from that mother. Stagger stepping his commandos, will pick up a drover there, but the small protean and mother should be easily able to deal with the 2 commandos that remain here. Considering Krux sent only 4 units, 2 commandos, a stalker, and a predator, I would say he managed decent economic harassment there, taking out 1 small protean and a little bit of damage on the mother goo itself. In the meantime, he is expanding hard in his base, going straight into a 3rd refinery. But is he building both of these refineries at the same time? I think so. So a 4th refinery, excuse me. You should probably allow one of these to complete before, well, I guess it isn't going to make that much difference because of the extractor build time. Probably work out pretty much the same way. He's going straight to 4 refineries after his initial harassment. I don't know. There it goes. Fourth refinery completes and the extractor is going up. Krux going with a very greedy build once again, now purchasing himself a medium hub. Galahad being quite greedy as well, going straight into 5 mothers, which I guess will give Galahad a bit of an advantage. But they're both building completely blind right now, no scouting whatsoever by either of them at this point. Another large factory going up there, large factory here. Air attachment and, what is that, artillery? I think that's artillery. Stealth attachment going up on this large factory. I think he's preemptively going to counter Galahad's dwellers. We've also got more hubs being spawned. Yes, artillery and air on a large factory, so we will get himself cloud bursts for the crescents and hailstorms for the destructors. And seekers for the dwellers. So it looks like Krux is preemptively countering just about everything he thinks Galahad is going to be doing here. We've also got a couple of defensive turrets going up here in Krux's base. We are not going to have too early destructor push by Galahad though, because he has gone straight to 6 mothers, which has delayed any of large proteans. But if Krux doesn't ramp up production and attack soon, he will almost certainly get overwhelmed, because he's now on 4 refineries up against 6 mothers, which are all actively mining as of right now. There's the first large protean. There's going to be more very soon. A lot more. 2 more extremely soon. These 2 mothers will still take a little while. This one's actually, yeah. There's going to be a lot of very scary goo stuff on the field very soon if Krux doesn't do anything about it. And Krux has actually gotten himself a 5th refinery now. Production has begun here. We are going to see, looks like stalkers and seekers out of this large factory. 2 stalkers, 1 seeker on auto rebuild, I assume. As well as only stalkers? I think that's only stalkers being produced there. Or no, cloudbursts. It's got some cloudbursts being produced there. Another refinery. What is this insane greed from Krux? Is he ever going to make troops? Krux getting himself to 6 refineries now, while Galahad is up to 7 mothers. I don't know, maybe things will be pretty even for production. The problem is Galahad is actually making forces. Krux still operating on only a tiny, tiny army. I mean, it looks like their armies are roughly the same size, but really this is much scarier. 6 destructors with the splash upgrade, I can only assume, is going to tear this army to shreds in like 3 volleys. Although Krux does have 2 hailstorms to support. With 2 hailstorms, that engagement could go to Krux if he splits flawlessly. Meanwhile, Galahad now up to 8 mothers. And there has been a lull in Krux's macro expansion here. He's up to 6 refineries, but only has 7 slots producing, I believe. Only 7 slots producing on 6 refineries, and he's going into a 7th refinery. I don't know, Krux. I really hope that he wins this engagement, because if he doesn't, it could be the game. That blob of destructors will just walk right into his base. Stratus will get shot down by Tempests and Galahad's blob here. Galahad will need to split up a little bit. The burden of splitting is on both of them, with the Destructor Splash upgrade and Hailstorms in the engagement here. And we have a fresh harassment squad making its way towards the south with a couple of Stratuses as well. Large factory going up. Krux leaves his base quite vulnerable here. I'm surprised Galahad doesn't just walk right in the front door and take out all these refineries, especially double stacking refineries on small hubs leaves you incredibly vulnerable. Nice pickup by Krux though, look at that, he catches 2 Destructors completely out of position and takes out a Goo Mother as well. Galahad's moving in to retaliate, Krux must split, but he is leaving his Hailstorms on the front line and they're going to get taken down so easily. There they go. And he's actually really not that split up and everything gets completely wiped out. But here in the south we will have more engagements continuing. I almost wonder if a Mother got picked up down here. I'm not sure. Let's do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 died up there. I think he had 9 before. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of. I don't think Krux accomplished anything down here yet. We will have a bit of an engagement happening in the center. We've got 6 Destructors up against 3 Hailstorms and a small force of infantry. Nice shots by the the Hailstorms on those 3 units. Galahad grouping his forces together now. And Krux really has not quite hit a critical mass of Hailstorms yet, which is going to make it difficult for him to take out these Destructors. He is going to go in on this Mother over here, though, and Galahad is super blobbed up. If Krux could just land a few magical rockets, it would be... well, so much for those. Krux is having a lot of trouble dealing with this. And a Persier is... in production here in the north. More Destructors being spawned. And the splash upgrade is wreaking havoc on Krux's front line of low tier units, but he will pick up 2 of them. 3 units still alive to do proper harassment there on the Mother. Hailstorms fire on the Destructors that are coming up from the rear. He gets a decent spread of damage off there. 1 more rocket could kill a few. Not quite. And those Destructors will probably just regen that damage. But over here on the right side, we have more harassment. 3 Hailstorms doing what they can against the Destructors. They need to spread out a little, though. Nice, there we go. He picks up both Destructors and will now be free to harass the Mother. Galahad is not really spreading his forces out that effectively, so when he does get caught out of position with 1 odd large protean, it's a pretty big setback for him. That being said, if he can continue to keep Krux dancing with his Mothers while this Persier gets produced, Krux will be in for a pretty nasty surprise later in the game. The Stratus will get shot down, and he neglected to beacon it before it died, so he can't see it, and he will get overwhelmed now by Galahad's huge army. But Galahad has applied no pressure to Krux's economy. That being said, Krux has neglected to continue expanding. He stopped at 6 refineries, and he's been stuck on 6 for a while, and if he doesn't ramp that up, he'll never be able to outproduce this. His opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mothers now, I think. Yeah, 8 Mothers and a Persier going. Not to mention a very scary blob. Oh no, Krux located the Persier under construction here in the north! It's gonna take him a long time to kill it, but this will very much slow down its build progress. That being said, he's going to lose all of his forces here. He put a decent dent in it though, and more importantly, he is aware of its construction. More units on their way towards the center now, but again, Krux has not expanded for several minutes. For several minutes he has been operating on 7 refineries. Oh, and I take that back, there's an 8th one going up right now. So Krux is indeed expanding his economy, which is of course extremely important. He may pick up this Mother here. I'm not sure Galahad has even noticed that this is happening. There it goes. His forces are on their way to respawn, and Crescents are firing in the general area, but it looks like they completely missed. 2 destructors just get picked up for free. He may even take out this mother. More destructors here in the north if his reinforcements don't get there in time, but it looks like he has no intention of moving towards that engagement and is actually sending a huge force straight towards Crux's base. Krux has a pretty strong army in his base, but is leaving. This could be a very, very dangerous assault here. We've got mothers on their way to assist in this engagement. This could be a big push by Galahad, and I don't know if Krux will survive it. Meanwhile, in the north, the mother continues to kite them around. This destructor is probably going to get taken out, and the stalkers with stratus support should be able to take out that mother, but what's happening in Crux's base is way more important for him to deal with right now. Our refinery has been destroyed, as well as a large factory. Hailstorm is firing in the blob. 2 mothers coming into Crux's base now. Will he be able to stop this push? Everything is being destroyed. Destructors taking out hubs and production facilities. Mothers will block further production in this large factory. Crux's reinforcements are making their way from the north, but they take a nasty hit from those crescents, and destructors are on their flank. He's perfectly sandwiched. A crescent blob nails all of the low-tier units. It's going all wrong for Krux. Everything has been wiped out here. Krux does manage to somehow sneak a squad of stalkers back here towards the Purgers. That's a small victory for him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get this out of his base. And the economic damage he sustained has been devastating. More facilities being sold or destroyed. Mother's sitting on his headquarters now. Destructor's working on it. It will get taken out very soon. There goes another factory. Small number of stalkers has spawned out of those factories, but they won't be able to take on those 5 destructors unless they do a perfect split, and even then I don't think they'd be able to win. They managed to kill 1 before being completely destroyed. Crux's headquarters has now been annihilated. All of his refineries are gone. He has no production left. There's simply no imaginable way that Krux is going to be able to survive this. Although, he does stop the Purger from being constructed, and it just doesn't matter. Good game, well played. Galahad wins again!